Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a comparison between the Moterm and Printpression Weeks covers. I love both brands. I have used them both extensively. I've made several videos about both of them and they're both in the same price range. So I felt like this comparison would be useful. And I will be walking you through the obvious differences and my opinions on which one would be better suited for you. The biggest difference between these two covers is the material. Moterm is genuine leather, while Printpression is faux vegan leather. All of Printpression's covers are vegan leather, while Moterm offers all genuine leathers. And this leather in particular is the lychee lilac, and it is treated leather, so it's not going to patina. And obviously with faux vegan leather, it's not going to show any sort of aging at all. If you prefer leather, or maybe you prefer vegan leather, then the choice for you would be obvious. However, if you are considering both of them, they do have quite a few differences. So first, let's talk about the size. The Printpression cover is a lot bigger than the Moterm. So if I just put them up here like this, you'll see that the Printpression cover is a lot wider than the Moterm cover, and it's also a little bit taller. I believe this is to accommodate the Printpression Weeks book, which is a bit taller than the Hobonichi Weeks. But the upside to that is that you can really chunk up your cover if you like. So I do have my Hobonichi Weeks here in my peacock cover, and as you can see, I have it stuffed. I have my Weeks book here, plus another insert, and then I have a stack of coupons here in the back pocket, and then some deco here, and they all fit well into this cover, no problem. The Moterm is a lot more compact than the Printpression Weeks. So here I've gone ahead and moved my book and my insert as well as my coupons into the back pocket. And as you can see, it will fit. It is, however, looking very stuffed. And I did have to use the outer popper here to be able to close this. But it will still fit very nicely. However, the Hobonichi Weeks in the Moterm cover, it won't fit with the clear cover on cover here. I did try to fit the Hobonichi Weeks in with the clear cover on cover, but it was a really tight fit and I didn't feel comfortable forcing it in. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to use this cover. The Printpression Weeks cover will fit the clear cover on cover without any problems, as you can see. So if you want to use this clear cover, you might want to go with the Printpression one. But if you want something a little bit more compact, then the Moterm one might be a better fit for you. And while we're at it, I just want to show you something else. The Moterm Weeks cover, I don't know if this is true for the croc covers, but this lychee one that I have, it doesn't lay flat compared to the Printpression. The Printpression cover lies completely flat, as you can see. So I had no trouble writing on my Weeks in this cover. However, the Moterm cover tends to push up like that, and I have to push it down to be able to write on my Weeks, and that wasn't as comfortable for me compared to the Printpression cover. So just keep that in mind. If you are using the Moterm cover, you might have some problems with the flatability of the cover. And then here is what they look like as a side profile. The Printpression cover has a lot of volume to it. It's not heavier. The Moterm is actually heavier because it's leather, but the Printpression does take up a lot of space just because it's larger. And the strings on the spine, it's very thick. This spine doesn't bend as much as the spine on the Moterm does. That's another thing to keep in mind. If you are looking for a sleek, compact cover, definitely you want the Moterm. Now let's go ahead and compare the layout. So not only do you want to consider the sizing when you're looking at these two covers, you also want to look at the layout. So the Moterm cover does have its typical folio layout. You have the full height pocket here on the left, and then another one here. And then you get the card slots, 6 of them. You get the full height pocket here to insert your notebook in, another full height pocket on the right side, the secretarial pocket, and then the pen loop on the Moterm is higher up on the cover. So you can use your pen clip to secure your pen into the loop, just like that. And of course, you get the big back pocket, and the lining on the Moterm cover is brown. I know some people like to comment on that. I personally don't mind, but I know for some people, they're not always a fan of that brown lining. And then the Printpression cover, instead of the stacked card slots, you get the secretarial pocket here You get a picture window, 2 card slots. You get a full height pocket on the left side, and then you have this pocket here to slip your notebook in. Same type of slip pocket for your notebook on the right side. And then you get these 4 credit card slots, and then a non-gusseted zipper on the right side. The pen loop on the Printpression is the same level as the clasp, so it's right at the center. And I haven't had any problems with the pen loop on the Printpression. It works out just fine for me. Now the pen loop on the Printpression is elasticated, while the Moterm's is not. The Moterm pen loop is just a very wide loop so that it can fit large pens. And then the Printpression also has a big back pocket, and the lining on the Printpression matches the color of the cover, which I thought was a really good attention to detail when I first bought this one. This, by the way, is the Sophisticate collection. I know that Printpression has their latest classic collection, but I didn't find a week's cover for that one, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just working with the cover that I have. And then you do have the string on the Printpression cover if you want to use this as a traveler's notebook. And on the Moterm cover, you have these 2 ribbon bookmarks, which I don't personally use. But if this is something that you would like, then again, Moterm might be the one for you. Now let's look at the poppers. So Printpression has the one, I think this is called the female popper on the cover, and then you get the 2 male poppers on the clasp. Whereas Moterm has 2 female poppers here on the cover, and then 1 male popper on the clasp. I don't have a preference myself for which one I like, but if you do, then here you can visualize the difference. And then lastly, I want to talk about how these 2 covers look over time as you use them. So Moterm's letters are typically treated, so they're not going to patina the way full grain letter would. And that might be a good thing for you, a bad thing. I personally like my planners to look the same in general. I do appreciate patina, but it's not a huge factor for me. So I do like that the look of the Moterm stays the same over time. However, it does show signs of aging when you use it. It's leather, so it's still going to soften up over time. And I've noticed that the longer you use Moterm's cover, you start developing this dot on the clasp. I didn't use this cover for very long, but I do have this pocket planner that I used as a wallet, and I didn't baby this one at all. And as you can see, there is that dot on the clasp. And this planner also softened up a lot over time, which I love. I love how soft Moterm's lychee covers become as you use them. But that dot over there, that does bother me a little bit. And I did ask my other Instagram friends if this happened to them too, and yes, it seems that this is just a normal part of the wear and tear that Moterm covers have, at least the lychee leather. I didn't have the same issue with the croco leather, so maybe that's something to think about. And then as for the Printpression cover, this material behaves like a fabric. So you can see I can kind of crease it like that. It's not actually cloth, but it just behaves like a fabric. And this clasp is very hard, so when you close it up, it'll start making an indentation on the clasp here, or if you use the outer clasp, the little dent is going to show up here. But I don't know if you can see that, but there. So the more I use this cover, the deeper that dent got. And then the other thing is you also sort of get the dot on the Printpression cover as well. And since there are 2 poppers on the clasp, you get the double dot there. I'm trying my best to show you guys. Yep. Those were the biggest signs of aging that I've noticed for both Printpression and Moterm. You've got the dots. Either way, you've got the big dot here or the big dent here. So I think it's just a matter of choosing which one you're willing to live with, because either way it's going to happen. So ultimately, which cover should you choose, the Moterm or the Printpression? In my opinion, you should choose Moterm if you want a leather product, if you prefer a compact cover, if you want the bookmark, and if you want the higher pen loop. I think those would be the biggest deciding factors if you are choosing between the 2. And then I think you should choose Printpression if you like to stuff your cover, you want a picture window, or if you want a Hobonichi week size TN so that you can have these strings, and if you want a zipper pocket. Those are my recommendations for you. Again, I love both products. I use them both all the time. And in my opinion, you can never go wrong with whichever one you choose. Let me know down below if you have a preference. Do you prefer Moterm? Do you prefer Printpression? Again, I love them both, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing. This is Spellbound Notes, and I'll see you next time. Bye!